A shooting incident has left one man dead and police grappling to find his killers. Government is cracking down on illegal migration. And in tonight's entertainment segment, we take a look at an artist that's paying it forward. Good evening and welcome to FYI News. I'm Dudley Turnquest. We start with breaking news tonight as a man was shot dead in his car in Seabreeze. Our Gene Joseph was there and tells us that police are calling for help with the public for this latest crime.
Police in New Providence are busy investigating the country's latest homicide, which happened in the Seabreeze community last night. A 19-year-old Sandilands Village man became the country's latest murder victim when two men gunned him down shortly before 9 p.m. Police say the victim was driving a silver Honda Civic east on Seabreeze Lane when the pair drove beside him in a small dark-colored Japanese car. They exited and shot him multiple times before fleeing the scene in an unknown direction, according to Police Press Liaison Superintendent Chrislyn Skippings.
We are appealing to members of the public, especially those persons who reside in this area, persons who may have been in the area, who may have seen or heard something. We're asking you to reach out to the Criminal Investigation Department at 502-9991 or 2 so that we can bring this matter to a resolve within a relatively short period of time.
Skipping said the victim crashed into a nearby wall as he tried to flee his attackers and revealed that officers found a gun in the victim's vehicle. She urges family members and loved ones to encourage young men to resolve their disagreements more peacefully.
As the gatekeepers of this country, we have to influence our young males to be able to come in and sit down and talk. We have to let them know it is okay to argue. It is okay to see things differently, but it's not okay to pick up a weapon and harm someone.
Senator Maxine Seymour, who was on the scene after hearing of the incident, shared her concern about the increase in fatal crimes.
When crime happens, it's not just the victim who dies, a part of their family and friends dies along with them, and so we just must work together to try help combat crime.
Reporting for FYI News, I'm Gene Joseph.
More boots on the ground may be the answer to the illegal migration problem. I sat exclusively with the immigration minister, who broke down exactly what the government plans to do to crack down on illegal migration. With the government's new no-tolerance policy on illegal immigration, sites of shanty towns like these may quickly become a thing of the past. The Minister of Labor and Immigration, the Honorable Keith Bell, shares what makes Operation Secure effective and what it seeks to accomplish.
Ensuring that the irregular migrants that are in our borders, that we are able to identify them, we're able to take them into custody, and we're able to, after due process, repatriate those out of the country. That's the first broad pillar. So the second broad pillar of the government's framework, immigration framework, is protection of our territorial waters. You would note that, again, the Defense Force is leading that charge because obviously that is the agency responsible for the protection of our seas, our territorial sea, our sovereignty. The third broad pillar is to deal with our international and regional cooperation, and is headed by the Honorable Prime Minister.
While some may be displeased with the increase in repatriation exercises, the government is pleased with the results. In early March, Minister Bell revealed that over 500 irregular migrants had been caught since the beginning of the operation. He ensures that the exercise isn't merely about protecting Bahamian sovereignty, but ultimately will lead to a better Haiti.
Haiti can move towards a free and democratic election, whereby they can elect a new president who holds the substantive power to appoint a government in Haiti.
Dudley Turnquest, FYI News. The government is encouraging farmers to be more innovative as the country aims to become more food secure. But they're not leaving farmers to fend for themselves. Our Jillian Gray takes a look at how farmers are answering that call and how the government plans to partner with them.
Why people ain't doing too much farming and why a lot of farms look the way it is now. It costs a lot of money to be able to farm.
Sidney Sinclair has been farming for the past 20 years. He loves what he does, but that doesn't mean that the job does not come with challenges.
Through 6 hurricanes, in which Matthew was the worst. After Matthew, you didn't have to go to the back to see the back. You could just start up to the front and see the back. Then the government them coming around and taking pictures and, oh, we can assist you. Listen to me, if it wasn't for the Almighty God and him instilling it in me, it wasn't going to bend no down to the veggie farm.
It's not just hurricanes that threaten his farm, but as simple as heavy sporadic downpours that can throw off his yield. Sinclair says as the government pushes farmers to be more innovative, they must balance that with what farmers can afford.
Many years I work without getting paid. Like I say again, right? That's why people in the endowment farm, because it's so expensive and it's a whole lot of work. One of them containers costs thousands of dollars. I don't think you go to the bank and borrow money to get that. You understand what I'm saying? So I think if the government want to be a part of it, what they do is assist the farmers.
Minister of Agriculture Clay Sweeting says he's aware that farmers need funding. In fact, they started last year by providing over $1 million in funding for innovative farms. The focus now is on a national agricultural policy.
Assemble a team of farmers, of technical persons, as persons from the ministry that will travel throughout the country and hopefully ensure or to provide a comprehensive plan, a policy for the next 20, 30 years. But not only that, also an immediate relief policy.
Ministry is starting to cut down on the import of greens by introducing local farmers to better techniques.
We look at the holistic approach. We bring BAMC into the mix and provide farmers that's possibly been growing lettuce for many years. We give them a new type of lettuce that they're able to reach higher yields at a quicker time.
Now, innovation for Sinclair goes beyond technology.
Well, I would set up, you got the little conch stand, you got the dainty stand, the cane juice stand, the coconut water stand, you got the pizza parlors and all that. You need to be, and then what I intend to do is I bringing in 14 other vendors in here, and that'll make my market complete. Nice. You understand what I'm saying? So in farming, you got to think of many different ways to be able to make money.
Whether you're farming in your backyard for your family or you're partnering with the government for large-scale farming, one thing's for sure, moving forward to a more food-secure future for the Bahamas is going to take everyone's participation. For FYI News, I'm Jillian Gray.
Well, vendors down at the Gladstone Road Farmers Market prepare for what could be one of their busiest days and months. Our Jashonna Brown takes us through what the holiday excitement down at the farmers market looks like.
As cars began to roll in to visit the Gladstone Road Farmers Market on this Easter holiday weekend, vendors are preparing for what can be one of their busiest days. Vincent Thurston, founder of Boogie's Coconut Waters and Natural Juices, says it doesn't get any better than what he has to offer compared to his competitors, the Coconut Boys.
How I've been doing it, I've been hearing other people like on the side really giving the complaints about other coconut store vendors. They be mixing waters, and I understand they might have bad experience, but for me, if they all know about the farmers market, I've been here a little while now, about 3 years. We're sure to get the best quality, and we're sure to get the best customer service. We could also make fertilizer for the trees. We can make coconut milk out of it. We can make coconut oil, and it's also good for the skin. So it's good for a lot of things.
Other vendors are selling fresh eggs, peanut butter, and pastries, along with unique drinks made from sugar canes. A large variety of different products can be found at the Gladstone Road Market. Paula Rowland, founder of Wrapped in Elegance, said her company started on a rocky path, but catering to Bahamians and tourists have helped her business to blossom.
We do straw products, shell products, as well as natural soaps, as well as jewelry, which are made from the different shells that we have, whether it's the conch shell or the tulip shells. When I started in 2014, I was just walking along the beach in Sandy Point, Abaco, and I just noticed the amount of shells that we had on our seashore, and I just started picking them up, and I came back home, and I just started. Word of mouth, repeat customers, and just being out here. All right?
And it's that type of quality that has Bahamians wanting more, as visitors continue to roll in to get their fresh produce in preparation for this holiday weekend.
Jashonna Brown, FYI News.
Vendors on R.M. Bailey Park faced a stormy Easter holiday weekend, but that didn't stop customers from rolling in. Though many vendors had complications, Monique Harris said Easter is always a good time for her.
I've been in this business for like 18 years. Since the pandemic, it's been a lot of challenges, especially with bringing stuff in. Prices are tremendously high, so that kind of bringing some challenges when you come to pricing the stuff. Since the pandemic, things is slowly coming together. People are coming out more, shopping more, but prices, for me, the profit has decreased because I realize that things have gone up and the economy is not 100%.
Harris said seeing the joy in customers' faces is one of the highlights of what she does. The same goes for other vendors who take pride in creating baskets of joy for children. The Easter excitement continues with the pop-up market. UB students share their learning loss story, and an artist paints the way forward for future creatives. Stay with us, there's more after this break.
As the gatekeepers of this country, we have to influence our young males to be able to come in and sit down and talk. We have to let them know it is okay to argue. It is okay to see things differently, but it's not okay to pick up a weapon and harm someone. We're asking you to reach out to the Criminal Investigation Department at 502-999-1 or 2.
Welcome back. Hundreds of residents crowded the University of The Bahamas' basketball court for a hopping good time as UB hosted an Easter pop-up market. Budding entrepreneurs set up shop on the basketball court of UB. Partnering with the university's Wellness Center, these business owners have taken the event as an opportunity to make their shops more well-known.
Natural Waste Detox is a company that helps persons who have issues using the restroom, ladies and gents who have high blood pressure, even sexual enhancers, where us, along with a lot of other small business owners who are here displaying their great products and their great talents.
Beyond health products, baked good vendors found sweet success as their treats were a hit.
I'm an entrepreneur, CEO of Breadwinners 242, and I'm here to support UB Recreation and Wellness, and also they are also supporting us and our ability to sell our products, which is our freshly baked goods. These are both baked, sweet, and savory goods as well.
The COVID-19 pandemic forced schools worldwide to hold lessons online, raising questions at the University of the Bahamas. Have UB students suffered major learning loss, or have they avoided that fate? Our Demetri Sands sought to get that answer.
With the University of the Bahamas being reopened following the COVID-19 pandemic, questions have been raised over whether or not the university has suffered a learning loss. In order to gain insight into the situation, such a question was asked to several people on campus, and the first to be asked was a university student.
Because I personally prefer in-person instruction because I get distracted very fast. Then the background noise and the factors of the internet and power, all of that becomes a problem, and I find that more interesting than paying attention.
Beyond her, a professor expressed her misgivings with the situation as well.
For my students during COVID and then afterwards, I know a lot of us missed the face-to-face interaction, and a lot of my students missed that as well. Like looking at my students when I'm explaining a concept, and if they have this like look in their eyes like they don't know, then I know to go ahead and reiterate that concept and perhaps break it down. So that's some of the things that I missed.
In contrast to both, University of Bahamas principal Dr. Eric Rowland has stated that he believed that the university suffered no learning loss.
Schools. At the university level, I think we have experienced this very differently. I don't think I have seen any research yet that says that we have had a real learning loss. One of the things that prevented learning losses in university education, I think, by and large, is how the professors changed their instructional methods while we were teaching online. And those instructional methods, it was the key to the learning was engagement. And there are certain types of engagement pieces that we can do better online. And I can tell you from my work, we focus a lot on doing things better online than what it could be done face to face. So with those kinds of strategies evolving during COVID and faculty taking them into consideration, I think we did mitigate real time these kinds of learning loss.
As it stands, this has been a report brought to you by FYI News. Back to you.
We'll be right back after this break. Easter is a popular holiday weekend that residents look forward to for many reasons. But for the children, it's all about the Easter egg hunts. Many residents attended the 50th Independence Committee's Golden Easter Egg Hunt held at Collins House on Easter Monday. Families came out with their little ones to enjoy the games and activities like rock climbing, Connect 4, Uno, tic-tac-toe, building blocks, and the traditional bouncing castles. There are a variety of tents with other activities for children and adults to enjoy, like face painting and pink parties. Attendees had several food options and sweet treats like cotton candy, ice cream, and refreshments before the hunt began. The rain ended the event early, but not before the children could collect their share of eggs. Spring showers seem to have stopped for sun baths as we trade in rainy days for clear sunshine. Over to you, Demetri.
While New Providence had experienced rainy, cloudy weather throughout spring, today the weather was clear and the sun was fully exposed. Concerning the temperature for the day, it was a record that reached a total of 76 degrees Fahrenheit, even into the afternoon.
And now to arts and entertainment. Jerome Harris Miller's love for the arts has led to 16 years of art shows. Join Gene Joseph as he tells you about how this artist's passion helps the University of the Bahamas art students.
Visual artist Jerome Harris Miller announced his 16th show titled 242 Reminiscing in Color in benefit of the University of the Bahamas' art program. He says this show has special meaning to him and he wants to portray the sights of the Bahamas of yesterday as we go into the 50th independence celebrations.
So I try to capture the memories of ice cream trolleys going along the streets and just diving off the dock at summertime and the activities that we used to do that we no longer see. So I try to capture that in my art this year.
Jerome says the show memorializes a friend of the arts while supporting rising artisans through the Winston B. Saunders University of the Bahamas Scholarship.
This is something that I started after Winston died in Jamaica in 2005. I started painting before then, and he was really behind me in continuing the art craft. And I figure it's just fitting to continue celebrating his life and his service that he had given us and so many Bahamians in the theater and in the performing arts.
Miller welcomes you to support the show and the University of the Bahamas in any way you can, no matter how big or small your donation may be.
We invite the public to come out and they can give whatever they are able to. There's no pressure. I think the art itself speaks for the joy that I try to bring to people in my craft.
Don't miss the show happening 6 p.m. April 13th at Christ Church Cathedral's Patrick L. Adderley Hall. To see more of Jerome's art, you can visit jeromeartsbahamas.com. Reporting for FYI Arts and Entertainment, I'm Gene Joseph.
That wraps it up for us here at FYI News. On behalf of our technical producer and the entire news team, good evening, everyone.